Hey Adolf, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize I hadn't shared my document with you, but I shared it like around 15 minutes ago. I
Yeah,
thought I'd
yeah.
already sent it, but I
Yeah,
didn't
I've taken a
realize.
look at it. So I have a pretty decent idea on the thought process out there. There are some tweets. We'll make them probably live in today's session, and then we'll proceed.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes for the rest of the folks to join in.
Okay.
Adolf, is Advik joining in?
Um, we he had texted me like 5 minutes ago where we just shared our documents just to see each other's, but he hasn't
Mhm.
told me anything about he's not joining, so
Okay,
I'm not
sure, sure.
assuming he's gonna skip, but I think he joined. But we
Oh,
texted each other at 10:24 just to exchange the docs.
oh, got it, got it. So then, maybe while the rest of the folks join in, why don't we start taking a look at the document that you shared, and maybe we'll do a quick review, see if
Yeah,
there are
sure.
any gaps. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fine.
can you share your screen and open up the PRD?
Yeah, I will. Just one sec. I'll just open the doc up.
Yeah.
Just so you know that it says there's some people in the waiting room.
Oh,
There's five
okay.
people in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. Just a sec. I'll let me ping Karthik.
Yeah, it says I can just tell you this. It says Pritish Chaudhary, your note taker, Advik, and Uttarika Shetty. If you want, I can let them in. I'm able to admit them because it says I'm co-host.
Hello, mic testing. Am I audible?
Yep.
kg or not?
Not audible now also.
Now you
Loud
are.
and
Okay, yeah, I think this is better. Let me some problem with my quads. Okay. Um, Prajwal, can you come on camera if you can? Yep. Hello, welcome. I think we missed you in the last session. Have you caught up with the previous session, Prajwal?
Yes, sir. I watched the recording of the session.
Okay. If you have any questions or if you have any doubts about either session one, session two, uh, just check in with Pritish or me. We'll kind of help you get up to speed, maybe over the
Yes,
weekend or maybe sometime next week. All right.
yes.
Okay. Um, and Advik, how's it going?
It's going fine. So I just completed the work that was given last week. I created the PRD. I even sent it back. I was having some issues, but I sorted it and I sent the PRD.
Got it. Got it. And then just to reconfirm, the PRD that you and Arav are working on, it's the same, right?
I think it's
Uh,
different
uh,
actually.
it's a bit different, yeah. So we just shared documents, but the features we put in looks a bit similar. I just
Mhm.
went through both of them, but we haven't actually collaborated yet on the actual PRD.
Got it. Got it. I think it's time for you to start collaborating because it is the same, essentially the same
Yeah,
project. It also
yeah.
helps you, put your thoughts together, so that there's no deviation in terms of what you're going to eventually build out, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Hey, for us, how's your PRD coming through?
Yeah, it's under process.
Okay, right. Prajwal, so were you able to start working on the PRD?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
sir. I've started working on it, but I need time because for me my cyclic tests are going on right now in school,
got it.
and
Oh, what happened to your finger?
it's a fracture.
Everything good?
Yeah, everything's fine, sir. It's fine.
Cricket, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Mm.
cool.
So because
Okay,
of the cyclic test and this, I'm not able to cope up, but then I will finish it over the weekend and something.
no worries. So in case you guys get stuck or if you think you need some support or guidance or any movement forward, let me or Pritish know, either on email or WhatsApp, right? We'll reach out, we'll help you out there further. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
See, again, the reason why we keep prompting for following ups and stuff like this is because we are on a schedule. Even if we miss one session, it impacts the rest of the sessions out there. For example, the PRT session is going to be super important. We can't really get started with building or anything unless the PRDs are completely fine. All right. Perfect. So we were thinking before we start off with today's session, we'll take a look at one sample PRD, right? We'll kind of sort of do a working session where I think I received a POC Connect anyway. So we'll probably kind of start working on that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll share my screen. We'll kind of modify the PRD that is there in its format so that you guys follow the similar steps that we're taking and enrich your PRDs as well. And ideally try closing your PRDs by Sunday so that you'll have enough time to work on the rest of the things from Monday onwards. And for what you're going to do next, again, if we have enough time, we'll continue the session today. Otherwise, we'll possibly take it to the next session. Okay. All right. Give me a second. I'll open up the documents out there. All right. By the way, what is your what are your choices of AI tools, LLMs that you're using? Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT. What are your
Mine
choices?
is GPT.
Yours is GPT. Okay. Uh, Prajwal,
I think I'll stick with GPT too.
GPT. Advik.
I use Perplexity because of that
Okay.
free deal. That's all.
Okay. Right.
I probably
Ara.
just use Poe.
Sorry.
I use Poe.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. I mean, see, the choice of LLM doesn't really matter much. It's just like whatever you get comfortable with. For example, I use Claude. So let me open up Claude and
Give me just a second. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Um, Let me know if my screen's visible. It's visible. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So Arav, can you confirm if this is the
Yeah, it's this
PID
one.
that you've shared?
Yeah.
Okay. Advik, I saw the one you shared as well. It has it has a PDF format, so copying text from the PDF is a little hard. So I've kind of picked up the Google Doc, all right? But in general, this either should be fine,
Okay.
right? So a quick review. I mean, we'll probably try and finish this as soon as possible, but try following on. If there are any question, please feel free to drop your questions in chat. So while I continue, Pritesh can answer it right away in such a. Don't hold on to your questions. Please ask away questions, either chat or pause and ask. Okay. All right. So so here the problem statement handle is pretty clear. Problem is solving is how difficult it is for people who want to donate to actually find a credible shelter to donate to, and then going through the web page of the shelter to donate. The process is long. We want to make it simple. Okay, fair enough. Who is this product for? Like I think I see the personas out there. List of all dog shelters, name of dog shelters, link to donate. Money should go straight to the shelters, possibly shelters which need urgent donations and stuff. Okay, so one thing that I would urge upon, right, whenever you're writing specifically functional requirements, right, the more detail you can get to, the better, right? So let me see if I can open up a sample PRD that I've written for one of the products, and um, let me check if I can share that across. Okay. Let me share my screen. This is a sample PRD that I was writing for a Chrome extension that I was building some time ago. Uh, So basically, what is the objective? The objective here is it enables, let's say, individuals to create polished product demo videos directly from their browser in under 60 seconds, right? So the one-liner from that is from screen to story in under 60 seconds, right? So what's the objective? What is the core mission? The more the depth kind of sort of becomes a little important. Then the next step, there's no single format for a PRD. In general, a PRD should communicate what is your brand about, what is the problem statement you're talking about, and stuff, right? So in this case, I've decided to kind of add the design principles and brand guidelines. Again, I think in one of the PRDs you've included that also, right? All of this is done, right? Then functionality, right? Like so, there should be a recording engine. What happens when a tab capture happens? Chrome's there is a there's a component which kind of starts recording the entire screen, right? So that the minimum level of detail is this. Like these are things that you need to do. Like think of these as verbs, right? Action verbs. What is it that you're going to do? Those needs to be added in the functionalities. Additionally, what's helpful to do is also coming up with a screen by screen design. So right from point where you get into an app, what is the first screen? Okay, they see your dashboard. After the dashboard, what is it that you see? Probably, let's say, users page, or maybe let's say donations page, or maybe list of shelters page. What are those screens and pages that you'll see in your app? So that description is pretty important, right? So, so here, for example, let's say, let me just describe in Claude, right? Um, Arav, Advik, can you quickly summarize what your project
If you
speaks
want,
about?
I already have a prompt in my document. You can just copy paste that one.
Oh, sure. Is it the PDF or the
No,
same?
it's the Google Doc. I already put a prompt in there, which I put into AI.
This is it? Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
until the even below, until the success metrics. at the bottom. Yeah, under the PRD. That's the prompt.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I think there is. Okay, let me paste it here. So just take a look at some of the changes that I'm going to do here. So it says I want to build an app that allows users to donate money and later on gifts to any app registered dog shelter of their choice. The problem we're solving is how difficult it is for people who want to donate. Okay. Uh, the process is too long. We want to make it simpler and more inviting to donate. Animal shelters can register to be listed in our app, but they will need to go through a verification process. This includes name, good. Then they'll be allowed to register on our app. That way we can link on the app. There should be a list of users. The money that users donate should directly go to the bank account of the dog shelters instead of having middlemen. Okay. There should be a profile page. Then the color theme is simple black and white. Perfect. This app is built for anyone who wants an easier way to donate, and this could send for old people who are in retirement. Perfect. Very nice. See, I think in this, right, you've given the context. In fact, brilliant. It's super, super good, by the way, this prompt. Um, the flow is home to shelters to donate, profile, edit info, logout, open app, newsletter. Okay. So what would you need the newsletter for?
No, we did discuss last time as a possible option that we could have newsletters like
Hmm.
showing the success of the app or something like that. We just discussed that last time, so I thought I could maybe add that.
Got it. Got it. See, I think it's a pretty interesting thing to have. But remember what we're doing in this section in the next set of 10 to 12 weeks is we're aiming for an MVP, right? Now MVP is like the bare minimal product that you can launch, right? So for every feature or every functionality that we add, we always have to ask ourselves one question: can we launch without this feature? Now, remember this question. Ask yourself for every feature that you write, can we launch without this feature? For example, if you don't put newsletters out there, people can the core of the app will still be met, right? People can still log in, people can still find the shelters, people can still donate and all of that, right? Newsletter is an added advantage because let's say you, even if you remove the newsletter thing from your app, right, you can still share awareness via Instagram or write a blog about it, or maybe you have their emails and you can send them emails as well, right? So the more you strip down the app to its bare bones, the better is your MVP, right? So in this case, we're going to remove this for now, right?
Sure.
Yeah, payment methods, donations, perfect. Shelters to volunteer, okay. Uh, Here, this is the first thing. Okay, so typically what happens is while we build Android and iOS applications, right? There's typically with a mobile application, there's always that thing of some friction, right? Should I, so because it's a new app, people don't know about this app yet. So before they download, they kind of think twice about, is my data safe or not? Should I download this or not and stuff, right? So typically for basic MVPs and stuff, one very good way to start off with is a web application. Now, what's a web application? A web application can be anything. It can be something as simple as a web application. Let me see if, okay, I don't have this ready. But so there are web applications where you could give your email ID, password, something similar to Facebook or Instagram. You just give your user ID, password, even on desktop, right? Uh, Twitter, for example, right? Like, and then you do all your actions on the web. So you don't have to download anything on your phone. So that friction itself reduces a lot of inhibitions that people may want, right? So in this program, right? Like what we're going to, in fact, all four projects that we've picked up as part of this cohort, we will be building web applications, right? That once a web application is built, again, a web application, if you have a browser, you can load it on a mobile device as well. You don't need a download, you don't need anything. There's no installation, there's nothing else needed. So there's almost zero friction. Once you see that you're able to onboard users, you're able to see that people are using your product and it's actually gaining traction, that's when you invest more time and resources in terms of building a mobile application for it. Otherwise, it's a too costly, too time consuming an effort to build an app right up front, because you'll have to build one for Android and one for iOS, right? So that's the common logic. So instead, we will say we would be building a web app which is fully responsive and mobile optimized. Right. So what does fully responsive mean is if you look at this, right, you see that it keeps auto adjusting, right? So this is called fully responsiveness. Like, and if you see the side navigation bars and all are getting auto adjusted based on the size of the screen. If it's a mobile, it'll go like vertical. If it is a desktop, it'll go horizontal, right? So that's like a design thing. We'll do more about this in upcoming sessions, right? We also have some success metrics. They're okay, perfect. Now, so I like this. I like what you've added here. Don't add any of your own imagination. Strictly build it from the given description, 100%. Otherwise, these LLMs would kind of tend to overreact a lot. Now, there is just one thing that I would like to add. Act as a product manager for writing PRDs for MVPs. You will work by first understanding the problem statement, the intended target audience, and pain points, and focus only on MVP features. You should flag any features or thoughts which are not needed for the MVP. Right now, when we say this, we're instructing the LLM that it's like a double thing. So while we have done our original thought, so for you to design this prompt, right, it would have taken you some thought process. You would have thought about the product, you would have thought about the target audience and everything, and hence you came up with this detailed prompt, right? On top of that, we're just asking Claude also to tell, okay, you aim for MVP only, and we should also guide it how, right? Hey, I might probably go off track by adding more features, but I want you to help me understand all of that, right? I need you to brainstorm with me. So these are things that we're kind of talking about it, right? Give me a PRD for this using only the information that I given you. Remember, focus only on MVP. I need it where quickly, right? Okay, so let's go. Okay, I'll just do one more. Open up artifacts. Artifact is nothing but it's a new component. Instead of giving me the answer in the same chat, it's going to open up a new document and it'll give me the answer there. Right? Let's just see what it brings up. So if you look at it, so it is writing the problem statement as people who would want to donate to dog shelters face significant friction in the current process, finding credible shelters and navigating through individual and to make the donation is too lengthy and complicated. So always remember, AI generated output, we cannot blindly trust it. We have to review each and every single step, right? And remember, hold on to this point, because once you start building, this is going to come back and bite you very much, even if you don't review one line of code, even if you don't review one line of thing that it has written, right? Awesome. So primary is anyone wanting an easier way to donate to animal shelters, 18 to 75 plus and whatsoever. So here, this is where I would probably tweak the target audience just a little bit. For example, I think Arav and Advik, in your research, right, which geography did you find there are there are more takers in general?
For me, I found it was a lot more in India as compared to Hong Kong.
Okay. Advik?
Uh, I also found something similar. I think the age range was also like it is close to this, maybe a bit more with the older folk though, because the younger children or like younger adults, they don't really donate as much. They don't have that disposable income.
Hmm. Okay. But then they might want to volunteer. I think that was there in one of the points out there. So that could also be a use case. Okay. So we can add include another trait in the target audience, which is residents based out of India. Right. So now this does not complicate things also, because if needed, we can expand it to other geographies later. That's always not a problem. It just gets a bit more thing. All right. So pain points are difficulty finding credible dog shelters, long complex donation process, lack of centralized platform. Okay. So these are the core pain points. Now let's look at the MVP core features. Now, what is a user story? Any guesses as to what is a user story?
Something which motivated you to make this project.
Um, okay, sort of. So basically, a user story is a description. Like as a user, like for example, your product. Who are your users? For example, in your case, for us, your product, the users are students, right? Typically teenagers who are looking for, let's say, financial advice, right? Now, as that user, what are the functions that the user would want to do? Now, in this case, as a donor, if you look at it, right, this is a donor, not an animal shelter yet. So, as a donor, I want to see all verified dog shelters in one place, so I can choose where to donate. Now, this is a functionality that your users would need to do, and this is definitely part of your MVP. Now, what we are going to do as requirements is for that user to be able to do this action, how do we solve for it? So what should we do? We should display a list of all registered and verified dog shelters, basic shelter information like name, location, any other description, search and filter functionality, and shelter profile pages with a verification badge. Now, these are pretty decent enough yeah, if you ask me, right? Similarly, as a donor, I want to donate money directly to a shelter's bank account without intermediaries, right? Simple donation form with amount selection, direct bank transfer, secure payment processing, donation confirmation, and done. Now look at this. As a
Let's
user, I
come
want
in,
to manage my
Kapil
account.
here. Yeah, so just a small pointer there. The user story need to be for one set of users only. So your platform can have multiple users. So for us, for you, the platform would have just teenagers as one of the users. But let's say you have for, in this case, right, you will have pet shelters as one of the users. You will have donors as another set of users. So for each user bucket that you can figure out, you need to create craft the user stories. So that is where your platform becomes fully functional, not just for one user segment, but for every other user segment who is or are going to use your platform.
Right. So in fact, by the way, actually adding to Pritish's point out here, right? Now, another reason why we start writing this PRDs, right? As we go through this PRD, as we write the PRD more and more, we will discover that, oh, we didn't take care of this user flow. We didn't take care of this user flow. And then we keep baking it back there, which is why typically before we start building something, right? Like I often use this notion out there, whenever we build a product, at least 40 to 50% of the time should be spent in planning for the product, writing the PRD, like basically doing your market research, writing the PRD, verifying the PRD, ensuring that we've covered all possible use cases, then stripping down to bare minimum and saying this is the MVP that we want to deal with, and then we'll get to start building. Now, in this case, another thing here is as a shelter, I want to register on the platform to receive donation. Now, this and this are two completely different functionalities that we need to build out, right? But this is again very important, and that's it. There are no additional features that we need to build for the purpose of MVP, at least, right? Maybe if you think a little deeper, maybe I might want to add one more thing, which is, let's say if there's a possibility where a pet shelter reaches out to this portal, let's say a pet shelter applies to be a pet shelter there must probably be a verification page. What if some shady guy decides to say, "Oh, okay, I'm a pet shelter. I don't have pets, but I'll simply take money." Right. So these are things that we should be careful about. So for example, we'll be like, we need to add one more core functionality. Um, as an admin, I should be able to view uh, pet shelters who have registered with us so that I can review and approve them to the shelter list. Right. So this is another important thing that we'll need to add. So let's add it here. Um, okay, let's wait till it completes it. Okay, so it's done the changes out there, right? It says, as an admin, I want to review and approve shelter registration so I can maintain platform credibility, right? This means there's going to be another user called admin. So far, we have a user which basically a donor, right? A user is both a donor and a shelter home. And now we also have an admin as a role. We have three use types of different profiles in this case already, right? Then, yeah, responsive web application, like what we discussed already. Money donations, basic profiles, simple shelter, direct bank transfer, core user flows, mobile optimized stuff. Now, what's not included, we're also very clearly saying gift donations, volunteer functionality. Uh, Look at this. While mentioned in the flows, this adds significant complexity with scheduling, background checks, etc. Right? Now, this is a very important point. This is the advantage of working with AI, right? So initially, we may have missed out a few things. But then because AI has, and we've explicitly said think like a product manager, right? It would have thought through several other flows and it is throwing caution. For example, in fact, when I saw this out first, even I didn't think about this, right? When we decide to add volunteer functionality, number one, we need to do some background checks. The guy who's posing as a volunteer shouldn't be a shady guy, right? We'll need to figure out some way to like maybe link your Aadhaar or some form of your ID or stuff, right? Now, this is a pretty complex functionality, right? And rightly so, it says like this adds significant complexity with scheduling. So I should be available. Who checks which pet shelter is available at what time, calendaring. It all opens up a huge set of complexity. So let's skip it for the MVP, right? Which is rightly so. Then advanced shelter analytics, again, exclude. Social features, yeah, even this also, like, hey, I've adopted this pet or I've donated something, share it on social media. That API calls, that links, etc., can also be avoided for MVP. So similarly, all of this. So now this technically, uh, like okay, now question to the group, right? This is one level of PRD. Do you think this crosses this meets the PRD checklist that we added? What is the checklist again? So it's somewhere here. What was the checklist? Can someone remind me what the checklist is? Okay. So can a developer build this without needing you to ask more questions? What do you think for this? Um, and
Go ahead, give it a shot,
yeah, give it a shot.
or we'll start cold calling.
I I think it has sufficient information for the developer to work on
Right,
it. Yeah.
right. Why? Because we've clearly said who is the user, what do they want to do, why do they want to do this, and how to display all of that. So we've clearly called out all the requirements and everything upfront. So I think this mostly fine. Do your features solve a real user problem from your research? What's the answer?
Yep.
Yes, no, partly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and that is because these are the pain points and we've addressed them one to one, right? Can this MVP be built in 6 to 7 weeks? Yeah, this we can ignore for the time being because what is the complexity it takes, etc. This we will explore in the next few sessions. But as of today, yes, it can be built out, right? Now, have you clearly defined the success metrics? This is a good question. Have you defined the success metrics here?
Yeah, we have.
We have. So
Yeah.
users donate through the app at least 7 times a week. Now, whether it is 7 times a week or not is something that, like, whether the success metrics are achievable or not is a different story. But yes, we
Yeah.
have discovered some things, right? So we will come back to these success metrics right later again. And of course, avoid vague features, user unfriendly areas, and unrealistic timelines or missing metrics. We've most likely covered everything out there, right? So this is a pretty decent starting point for your PRD, right? Now, before we go ahead, Arif, can you share edit access so that I can paste it
Oh yeah, yeah,
paste this
sure.
out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. So any questions before we move to the next set of segments?
I've just
I
shared.
I just have a small question. Like not really a question. I think you'll just have to combine our like PRDs because they're slightly different in ideology. I think like little more communication is just needed because I think I put some
Yeah.
things that are slightly different, mostly the same, but like slightly different, such as the app layout. Like I thought I'll put the shelter and I mean the donate and volunteer buttons and they will take you to the shelter page and this is like the other way around. So
Ah,
yeah.
okay, got it. Okay, it's a very good thing. Let's talk that through. You said, um, walk us through the flow that you have in mind.
My idea was like it's very similar actually. Like unlike the idea where you go to a shelter and then pick the shelter to volunteer or donate to, I thought you can put a volunteer and then donate button like at the front, and then when you press them individual, click them individually, then you'll go into a shelter page to select a shelter. Because I think a lot of like most people who want to try and donate or volunteer, maybe they won't have an idea of what's going on, like what's the best shelter around them. They just want to get into the action, so it wouldn't be best to just shove them with that, like the Google Maps or something, or some place to show shelters nearby, but rather show that you can volunteer here and there. They can sort it based on what their preferences are, and then just choose what they want to do, and then tell them which shelter do you want to.
I love this approach, by the way. I think you and Arav should talk this further. I love this approach. I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you what clicks upfront. In general, right, there is one golden, I don't want to, as much as I don't want to say a rule, I still want to say a golden rule, is that try, try giving your users the moat with the least number of clicks.
Yeah.
Right? I think I don't know if you have any ready available stories and anecdotes around this, but if you have, please do share. But there is evidence that with each click, right, the number of users who, let's say 100 people are there on your page one, click to page two, it doesn't become 100. A lot of people will get away after the first page itself. Oh, there's too much, right? You'll be surprised to see the amount of impatience people will have. So showing upfront. So in this case, right, Advik, like what you're saying, volunteer and donate, right? Now these are the two very, very important functions of this app. But I would flip it a little. I would say donate and register, right? Like if you're an animal shelter, you would register because volunteering is something that we're putting outside of the MVP for now, right?
Yeah.
So you would say donate as a user or register as a pet shelter, right? Now you'd have two buttons. So a user, even if they don't know what this product is going to do, they're going to know, oh, this is something I know where to click. You click and then you open up the portal for that. Now that's a brilliant idea, a brilliant thought process. Both of you should talk this through. Right. Again, I've pasted the current PRD here. You could probably use like maybe I'll also paste this. It is exactly what you guys have written. I mean, the only change is just this, right? But by the way, did you notice the difference though? Like just by adding this one paragraph alone, did you see the difference in the kind of PRD that we got? Right. So this is what the prompting is all about. So I'll just put the um, prompt as well here. Right now, what you guys should do next is have a quick chat, maybe get on a call, discuss the workflow out there. In fact, like brainstorm with your choice of LLM, right? In this case, for example, let's say I agree, but I also have a different uh, navigation thought process. I want to reduce the number of clicks for my users. So how about putting register for animal shelters, dog shelters, right? We said, okay. And donate for other users. And
Honestly, sorry, I just want to add, I agree with Advik. That was only kind of my intention, like having tabbed at the bottom, let's say like home, donate, and register. But I think I just worded it a bit wrong. But I completely agree with what Advik is saying.
right, right. I think it's a pretty good idea. I think, and when you talk more, right, you'll get like more ideas as well, right?
Yeah.
If we were to do this, would the PRD change? If not, please update or add the navigation flow as well. Right. So now the moment you do this, right, now it'll make its own changes, right? For example, you see that it's making some changes out there. Again, for the in the interest of time, we'll not review the navigation flow in this sense. I think maybe both of you should kind of get on a call, review everything, and then go ahead with it, right? Again, this goes the same with Prajwal and Faraz, both of you as well. Do a similar thing. Remember the role. I think what was the framework that we discussed in prompting? You give a role, you give what is the context, you give the task and all of that, right? Make sure that the role is properly given. Make sure that you explicitly tell that you only want the MVP, right? So what should your PRD have? Your problem statement, target audience, pain points, success metrics, the MVP core features, like and restrict it to 3 to 4 features at best, right? And then you'll have not included your navigation structure, and that's very important. Navigation structure is also very important, and that's it, right? Once you're done with this, you're done with your PRT, right? And again, you've seen the format. I think your PRTs should try matching this format in some sense, right? Okay.
Sorry, if
Um,
you don't mind, could you also paste a new one onto my doc in a new tab? The
uh,
one with a different workflow.
sorry, 1 second. I think I lost you. Could you repeat, please?
I was just asking the new PRD you generated with the new workflow. Could you also paste that into my document if you don't mind, please?
I think I pasted it in your document only. Okay, just a
The one with
second.
the new workflows.
Uh,
If not, it's okay. Sorry, my bad.
oh, is it this one? This is the one, right?
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
Oh, yeah. So I just created a tab too, and
Ah,
I've pasted it
okay,
here.
got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you should be okay to share your document with Prajwal and Faraz as well, so it can help as a friendly reference for the prompt and stuff, right? Most important. This is very important. This is very important. And your core, and by the way, it took very little time to come to the PRD because of this depth, right? You guys, you've added like great depth to it, and that is why in 1 or 2 prompts we were able to get to the final PRD. In reality, it sometimes takes me, if I start off with an idea, I first build on top of the idea, I then come to it, and then eventually build the PRD. That takes longer, but this is great, guys. Okay, let's now get to the session. So again, in the interest of time, I'm not quite sure if we can complete this session end to end or not, but we'll go to whatever extent we can, and then we'll continue the rest in the next class, right?
Okay,
But before,
sorry, KG, before
yeah,
we
go ahead.
start, right? Quick, get me up to speed. So, I know you guys have been working through this for some time. Where are we right now?
So we so there I saw two PRDs. Arav and Arvik have shared their PRDs.
Okay,
Uh, The rest of the PRDs are work in progress. Hopefully, the idea is to close them at least by latest by Sunday, and send it to me or Pritish for a review so that we kind of walk through what's happening. The how do we get to that final version of PRD? Something that we've done a walkthrough right now with
got
Paul.
it, got it. But it's okay. So before we move into the session, right? Faraz and Prajwal, what is your sense of this? Do you feel like you have enough to start now,
Yeah, more or less.
right?
Yeah.
So you'll be able to create a version by Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So, because something that I want to be conscious is we are using one as an example, but then the intention is that everybody gets to the same point, right? I don't want one team running ahead and the other two are behind. So, you guys have to get to the same point by this week. And as a principle, let us circle. So, we use one project as the example in each session, right? Let's see, we have started with pet. Next class, maybe we pick up for us your project and start as a uh, using working document from where we build it out. Okay, but for that to happen, you guys have to get to the same point, right? So use the time between now and next Friday to make sure you get to the same point so we can use it. Cool. Thanks.
Perfect.
Sorry, can you continue?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, so the next session is going to be super interesting because I think for a change, it's going to be all colorful. It's going to be like we're going to design screens. We're all going to think like designers in the next session. But again, that can happen only if the PRDs are ready. All right. Okay. So in this session, uh, very quickly, again, we've looked at the PRD status. Please finish it by Sunday and send it over to me and Pritish. We'll do a quick review and maybe we'll call you up for a quick 30-minute session. If there are any gaps, we'll close the PRD over the next week, right? Okay.
Hey, just in the interest of making sure we are on top of it, after this call, Prajwal and Faraz, just send a time which works for you. So let's block it on calendar. So before that, make sure the PRD goes out to these guys. So you're able
Okay,
to take
sir.
a half an hour slot. Make sure you sit in that session and close it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Cool. Thanks.
Right. Okay. Cool. So Pritesh, do you want to start off? You want
Yeah,
to get
yeah. So now we'll switch gears a bit with an assumption that all of your PRDs will be in place within the next few days.
Uh, just one thing. So sorry, Pritesh.
Yeah,
We have about 10 minutes left. So
yeah,
whatever we can in that, we'll do.
yeah. Probably 3-4 slides maximum.
Yeah.
Cool. So again, the slides are already there, so you know what I'm going to talk about. But broad idea is whenever we are trying to build a product, we have to be very cognizant about who are we building it for. That is why the user story was very, very critical, because we should always have the people for whom we are building the product, right? Like we're building the product for people, right? We're not building it for the heck of building it, right? So correct me if I'm wrong, but you need to figure out who your audience is. That I think we have done pretty well now. But the user story part comes into handy if we are understanding what their individual pain points are. Again, the risk of repeating myself, the pain point of a dog shelter would be very different from a pain point of the person who is making the donation to a pain point of an admin, right? So each person will have a different set of pain points. So understanding your user becomes super, super critical. So that is why this code kind of comes at a very important part is, if you build it, they will come, is absolutely how do I say it? It's a pit hole that a lot of apps suffer with, simply because you are passionate about it, you go ahead and build it, right? But there's absolutely no guarantee that people will actually come into it. The only way people come into your product or want to use a product, if you mm, engage with them, if you interact with them, if others know that your product exists, right? Like apart from that, there'll be 20,000 products available, right? There's some way people should be aware that your products exist. And now I would kind of open up to probably 2-3 minutes of discussion for all of you. You can probably answer it individually. How would you plan to get your first 10 users?
Uh,
Um, just
Go by
spread it.
order.
Yeah, just spread it in the family group and hope it goes on to the outer family.
Okay, okay. Friends and family with word of mouth. Okay, absolutely. Next, Prajwal.
I would say the same thing, like trying to first reach out to the people you know, and then seeing if they're actually like taking feedback from them, and then trying improving on it would also like help get more users, because you'll understand what the users actually want from you. Right? So reaching out to the friends and family members would be first, because that's
Okay,
the people we
okay.
know will actually try out the app.
Understood. So on getting feedback from friends and family, there is a different line of thought. I'll probably come to that in a bit. But good start, Advik.
I thought like a similar idea, like that everyone can like use friends and family, but also maybe use online like sites, like say Instagram, you can use it very easily, or like because you can do those stories and just show that this is the new app I'm opening, and then you can then everyone will see it at once, and that is like it also be public so that anyone can see it on your like profile. So it's a good idea.
Okay, okay. Perfect, perfect. In fact, your audience, wherever they live, right? Like Instagram is essentially a placeholder, wherever your audience lives, right? I think we have covered that in one of the sessions. Arav?
Uh, for me, I think before even getting any people on board, the first thing would be to get shelters, because that's the only way people will be able to use the app if this shelter is actually registered. So first, I'd reach out to shelters, and then probably friends and family who I know would want to donate to the shelters.
Correct.
I
So,
love the answers, man.
yeah, I especially love the Arav's answer because that's essentially a big part of the penguin problem is how do you solve the chicken first or the egg first problem, right? So you need to understand that if you have two sides of users, who should you solve it for first? If you solve it for people without shelters, shelters won't, people won't come in. If you solve for shelters without people, shelters won't come in. But the bigger problem is with shelters because they are the folks who need money, not the other way around, right? Like the gravity of the problem of shelters is bigger, so you solve for shelters first, then you actually solve for the people side. So brilliant answer, Arav. I would actually want you to solve for shelters first, get a few shelters on board, and then you can reach out to friends and family if you were to kind of build it out as a full blown application. Perfect.
Just a quickly to summarize, we ways to get to users, friends and family, social media, digital presence, and in this very specific case, directly pet shelters out there.
Yeah, supply side users.
Brilliant answers. Yes, brilliant.
Cool. So all of the users that you have said, there is another way to kind of look at this is the different types of users that exist in a product development life cycle are divided into five major categories. One is innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggards. So essentially, left to right is essentially the set of people who are going to use your product how early in the development stage. So innovators are a set of people who are going to use a product even if part of it is not ready. They're okay to their, they would be open to giving up you feedback. They would be open to working with you to improve your product and experience. Whereas laggards and late majority are the set of people who would want the full-fledged application. It has to be very, very polished. So that is the entire of the life cycle. From the left, you would see somebody who is willing to take a risk, right? Willing to work with bugs. Whereas laggards are somebody who would not be willing to participate a lot. So who do you think you should target mostly?
I guess since the innovators like they set the bar, so if like 2.5%, if we were to get that number high enough, then I would say 34% would also of that same number would be higher. So if I have 100 innovators, when 2.5 is going to be like around three innovators. But if I
Mhm.
have 1,000 innovators, 2.5% of that is going to be much more, and therefore
Correct.
34% of the would also be like much more.
So who would you target?
I would target innovators and early adopters for that reason only.
Okay. Anybody agree, disagree? Quick show of hands.
I mean, I agree just because they can give very valuable feedback that could better the experience of the late majority and like laggards and stuff. So that could be good.
Correct, correct, correct. So broadly, yes, both of you are right. These are the people who are willing to try. Other folks would be a bit inertial. These people would be willing to try. So for your MVPs, highly recommend target only these people. Again, as Faraz called out, the numbers are very little, like probably 15-16% of the total user base, but that's okay. These are the valuable set of people whom you should target, and they're perfect for your beta testing. Now, as all of you were saying, right, like you would reach out to friends and family, you would reach out, you would do social media marketing. All of them are absolutely good ways to kind of solve your problem. Only caveat there is part of it is bit expensive and part of it is time consuming, because if you go via the organic route of actually talking to 10 people and getting the feedback and getting all of it, okay, there's a bunch of messages coming, but anyway, so if you talk to individual people, it will be time consuming, but at the same time, it will create a bunch of buzz about your product. So the best way to kind of, in our both of our opinion, is share your journey while you're building it, so that people would actually follow your journey to figure out what you're up to. And even if you have a very small part of your experience created, right? You don't have to have the entirety of the app. You just have one part of it. I'll just use, let's say, Faraz's example. For us, we want to get the teenagers to play around with stock market, right? Like if I'm putting it very bluntly. So if even if you don't have the full-fledged application of the how do you use a login, how do you put a virtual currency there, how does the price fall up and down, to the final point of whether they have made money or lost money in a simulation year or a simulated decade. Even if you don't have all of it, if you have just the part of it that you put in money, you see market fluctuating for a day or so, and you see your result after. That's also a good enough experience for the user to understand what you're thinking as a founder or what you're thinking as an innovator. So that is where the modern user acquisition methods come in. And of course, you have to talk to friends and family, so that there's no other option of it. You have to use social media, you have to post things on LinkedIn, social, Twitter. Again, all of it depends on how well you can do it given your age and other constraints. But talk about what you're building to people out there so that they follow you, and they, even if it's partly done, they can actually be part of your entire journey.
Yep. I think on that transition, like, this concept is called building in public, right? And this is something that is coming out at massive adoption these days. I'll give you like a few very quick examples, right? But before all of this, right? If you should be asking one question, right? We started off with market research, then we started trying to think of solutions out there. Then we started writing a PRD. Now we're talking about users already, but where did the product development part go? Right? Why are we not talking about product development part yet? Right? Now, is that a valid question to have? Yes, no, and is that a question that you guys have or don't have? Like, no, talk to me.
I mean,
Do you have like any guesses as to why we're not talking about actually building the product? It seems like this, right? Again, you start off with market research, written the PRD, thought about solutions. Then now we're talking about users directly. Like, can anybody guess why we're doing that? It's okay. Wild guesses. Like, there's no wrong answer. There's no stupid answer, right? Please, what do you have in mind?
Is it because like you want to get the attention before the app releases because then you have a very high start? Like you're teasing
Brilliant.
what the final product is.
Brilliant. In fact, um, after building quite a bit of products, right? And especially once you have MVPs ready out, and in this age where AI is assisting workflows like left, right, center, getting real users to test your product, to use your product is the most challenging aspect, right? And that is what takes time. So there are a few people. I'll share like who those people are. You could probably try looking them up, what their journey is and everything. But they've hacked the growth process. Now, what they started doing is they first started validating their idea. Like, do enough people care about this? So what did they do? They started talking about it on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, saying, "Hey, you know what? I want to kind of." So I realized that pet shelters. I don't see all pet shelters at one place. Even if I want to donate money to them, I also don't know whether some of these pet shelters are legit or not, right? And so I'm trying to solve for that problem, right? Let me know if you have this problem out there. So this is something that they keep talking about it, right? And through their journey, and always on social media, it's always like consistently engaging out there. It's not just social media, like you said, right? For example, you could talk to your friends and family. Maybe if you stay in an apartment, maybe you talk to folks in your apartment as well, right? Maybe you ask your friends to be your liaisons and ask them to see if their extended friends have connections or who want to solve this problem or not. if you're in your school, if there is a scope for you to talk to other students in assemblies or anything, maybe, I don't know, maybe shout out loud there. So there are ways in which the more you talk, the more you share your journey, people who are interested in that problem statement will start following you already, right? So this is how you generate initial interest. And your first 10 users, right, you're going to get from people who are actually interested to your problem statement. Now think about it this way, right? Let's say I have a friend who is building a pet shelter, but okay, I'm not a horrible person. Let's assume I hate pets, right? Now, even though I'm a friend, I'll probably not use the product, right? So I'm not the right user for the product. So how do you attract the right set of users? By talking about it. The more you talk about it, now when I say talking about it, could be multiple ways. Like I said again, it could be in digital forums, it could be in communities, it could be with people where you just walk around, where you talk, you kind of meet people out in general and stuff, right? But the more you talk, you in English. So that's this one thing, right? Share your story out in public, let your audience find you, right? This is the thing of success. Now, why are we doing it now? So that whenever you have any scope, like keep your eyes and ears open. Whenever you find an opportunity, start talking about your product today. By the time you finish your MVP, you should have like 10 to 15 users already interested in what you're building and should be ready to try your product out. That is the goal, and hence we're talking about this today. Now, some of these guys, right? Now, this guy's Peter Levels,
Hey,
then Mark
Deep,
Lu.
time check 9 o'clock.
Yeah, yes. We'll close it after this, Karthik. We'll resume the rest of it in the next session, right? And Jack, these are three people. Again, I'll share screenshots of this in the group and on email as well. Now, these are people who started from zero and to where we are. These guys like do like almost like 50, $60,000 per month in revenue just by talking about their wins and stuff. They do very little spends on marketing, user acquisition, and stuff, right? So again, so we'll pause out here. The next steps are we will be talking about. You now have your once you have your PRT, we will first start designing the front end, the UI of your product, like where would you place your next buttons, what is the dashboard looking like, and all of that. We will be designing those screens next. We will all be putting those hats of designers out there. If you guys finish your PRDs, there's a chance that we may complete all the screens in the next session itself, right? Um, Big target, but let's try to crack it. The only thing needed is get your PRDs sorted, and then we will review it and then be ready for the next session, right? And that's it. And if there are any questions, like I said, feel free to talk to Pritesh or me at any point in time. We'll reach out again. Okay. So Arav, Advik, your PRT. So just a quick homework of sorts. Both of you, you need to find time, talk to each other, arrive at one flow, one navigation, one set of things. I think at this point, from this point in time, both of you should be submitting one document together, which is after your discussion, because now we will be entering the discuss like the actual product building segment, right? That's one. Faraz and Prajwal, what time do we catch up to review the PRDs? Which time for Monday?
Yeah,
So
Monday
Sunday,
works. Monday I probably have a tuition, so maybe in the first half, but I'll let you know.
got it. But see, ideally, it would be best to lock some time so that we are positively closing it by then, and then we'll talk to. Let's keep Monday first half. Let's say 11 o'clock also, because I'll need to block my time as well accordingly. Yeah,
So
Monday 11 works. Perfect.
so
Prajwal,
Monday I would say like from 8. I mean
8
same time like now. Or
Sure.
I can have it from 6 to 7 is also.
Okay, I see any day typically towards the second half, post 7 should be fine. Pritish, would you
Okay.
be available 8 p.m. tomorrow,
8 p.m. would
Monday?
be better, yeah. Would be
Monday
available.
8 p.m. would be better, right? Okay, perfect. So, Prajwal, you'll be chatting with Pritish 8 p.m. Faraz, I'll speak with you Monday 11 o'clock. Yeah, awesome, perfect. In the meantime, if you have questions, let us know. Right, I think it's a great. Arav and Advik, just ensure that by Sunday, if you can, finish your PRD, like the combined PRD that you guys are designing. and send it across. You've already sent a version.
Yeah.
Like just update it and send the final version as well.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.